This is a job advert for an entry-level developer. It asks for 3 years of experience. If you're looking for your first job in software right now, you have seen this. It's worth understanding why, because it isn't quite what most people think. Take someone graduating this year. He did what he was told to do. For about 15 years, the advice was simple. Learn to code. And it was good advice. Software pays well. Computer science graduates have some of the highest starting salaries of any degree. The work is interesting, and you can do it from almost anywhere. Nobody was lying to him. So he did it properly. He studied for years and he built things that weren't assignments, something of his own. He picked up the tools nobody formally teaches you. Git, the command line, how to read code somebody else wrote. And then he graduated, and he was ready. That part was true too. Then he started applying. The first 10 felt fine. He tailored every one of them. By 50, he had a spreadsheet. By 100, he was already applying for things he didn't want. And he'd stopped tailoring them, because there wasn't time. Some of them answered, "Thank you for your interest. We've decided to move forward with other candidates." Or, "Unfortunately, we're looking for someone with more experience." Sometimes that arrived within a minute of applying. There was nothing in it to learn from. Most of them didn't answer at all. No rejection, no confirmation, nothing. He'd check back a week later, and the posting was gone. He never found out whether anybody read it. And after a few months of that, he started to think the problem was him. But it wasn't him. 5 things changed at the same time, and not one of them had anything to do with him. First, there are a lot more people applying. In 2012, American universities awarded about 47,000 computer science degrees. 10 years later, it was over 108,000. More than double, into a market that did not double. Second, companies got cautious, and they got cautious from the bottom up. Look at what's actually being advertised in software development this year. Senior roles are around 70% of the postings. Entry level is under 5%. There isn't a shortage of all software jobs. There's a shortage of junior jobs. Third, the work at the bottom changed. The small, self-contained tasks a junior used to be handed are the tasks AI tools handle best. Whether that actually makes a team faster is still genuinely unsettled. One controlled study found experienced developers were 19% slower when they used AI tools. The same developers believed they had been 20% faster. But hiring doesn't wait for evidence. Companies that believe they need fewer juniors are already hiring fewer juniors. Fourth, everyone else is using AI too. Applications on LinkedIn are up around 45%, and a lot of them are AI-assisted. No recruiter can read that, so the first pass gets automated. Applicants use AI to get past the automation, which pushes the volume up again. For a lot of those 100 applications, no person ever saw his name. And fifth, and this is the one everybody feels, entry-level stopped meaning entry-level. When the queue is that long, an employer can ask for 2 or 3 years and still fill the role. So they do. 5 separate things, arriving at once. Not one of them is the fault of the junior developer, but he has to suffer from them. So what does get through? Certainly not 20 frameworks. A longer list of technologies is the easiest thing in the world to produce, which is exactly why it doesn't separate you from anybody. The things that work are the things that are hard to fake. Evidence that you've finished things, not started, not nearly done. Finished, and eventually running somewhere. Evidence that you can learn, being able to explain something you didn't understand 6 months ago, and now you do. Git, properly. Not 3 memorized commands, but real concepts like branching, resolving a conflict, reading history. Debugging, being handed something broken that you didn't write, and working out why. And clear communication. Writing a good description of a problem is rarer than being able to fix it. None of that is a certificate. All of it is demonstrable, and that's the point. Which brings up the portfolio. 5 tutorial projects that all look the same are worth close to nothing. Everybody has those. One project where you hit a real problem and had to solve it is worth more than all 5. Because the interesting part was never the app, it was the decision you had to make. So write that part down. What broke, what you tried, what you chose, and why. That's the bit nobody can generate for you. None of this makes the market fair, and none of it makes it faster. But it's worth being clear about where the difficulty actually sits. The first job is the hardest one to get. It's the only one where you have nothing to point at. And look again at what the market is asking for. Around 70% of those postings want a few years of experience. That demand hasn't gone anywhere. It's sitting one rung above where you are. So the company that ignores you this year is advertising for someone like you in 2. Software engineering is still one of the best careers you can have. That part of the advice was never the problem. How many applications did it take you? Put the number in the comments. And if you want more of these, subscribe.